Hey, what's good, y'all? Soul here, and before we get started with the video, I wanted to give an official announcement that the giveaway has officially started. So if you want to join that, go ahead and click the link in the description. We have about a month now until the game releases, and I'm going to announce the giveaway winners during my initial live stream for Pokemon Legends EA. So you want to make sure that you have your chance to obtain your possible free copy of Pokemon Legends EA. I wanted to make sure to give back to you guys, and this is going to be one of my ways of doing so. So make sure you get your tickets in so you can have a chance to win a free copy of Pokemon Legends EA. Make sure to keep tabs on everything by subscribing to the channel, and make sure that you tune in for the initial live stream again for Pokemon Legends EA on October 16th when we announce the winners. All right, that's enough from me. Pass Soul, take it from here. What? Mega Raichu? Buddy, why do you care about this? Didn't your wife just file for divorce? Your kids are in danger. Hey, what's good, y'all? Soul here, and welcome back to the story mode. So, as we briefly talked about, last week they gave us a Nintendo Direct, which covered a lot of the upcoming games for Nintendo Switch 2. And I'm looking forward to a lot of it. Even the Pokemon stuff that they strangely decided to announce during this. But you know what? I'm not mad about it. One thing that is strange, but not really all that weird that they didn't announce it in the initial Direct, is the fact that we don't even have access to these Mega Evolutions until we, get to certain ranks in Battle Club. And I think it starts with Greninja. The other two won't be available for, the next 2 months or something. That's super weird that they're doing that, but whatever. We've got a good couple Mega Evolutions to play with anyway, so it is what it is, I guess. Obviously, as you've seen from my previous video, I am more than excited for Pokopia and am very much looking forward to that. Games like this usually are not within my wheelhouse, but because it's got a Pain of Pokemon on there and it's got the possibly potentially more RPG elements to it of the kind of top-down survival type situation going on, I'm looking forward to it. I think it has a lot of potential. But getting more on topic here, I think the most baffling announcement was the DLC for Mega Dimension for Pokemon Legends EA. Mind you, the game very much is not even out yet. We don't even know what post-game could potentially look like, let alone the DLC. We know a very small handful of things regarding this DLC. We know that for some reason, Hoopa is involved. We don't know why, we don't know what it's doing or what it's up to, but Hoopa is somehow involved. I have to imagine that Hoopa is the reason why it's called Mega Dimension. The second thing being, there are two new Mega Evolutions involved in this DLC, being Mega Raichu Y and Mega Raichu X. Of all the Gen 1 Pokemon that got Mega Evolutions, I feel it's very strange that Raichu didn't get one sooner. Designs are really fun, especially Mega Raichu Y. I mess with that very heavily, so we'll see what plays out with that. If you purchase the DLC before the end of February, you get access to apparel that you can utilize right from the get-go as soon as you start up Pokemon Legends EA, so that's pretty neat. And the last thing we know is that the DLC does in fact take place after the main story, so you do seemingly need to complete the main story of Pokemon Legends EA before you continue into the DLC, so okay, makes sense for the most part. But there are a couple of strange things in regards to this DLC, right? For one thing, we've seen zero gameplay of it. We don't even have a semblance of an idea of what this DLC actually contains in terms of content. Outside of knowing the fact that Hoopa and the Mega Raichus are involved, we don't know anything. Are we actually going to another dimension for this game? That seems pretty out there. Based on how raid battles have worked, maybe it's a situation in which we're constantly going to be in this other dimension where Pokemon randomly Mega Evolve and we are constantly in raid battles with newer Mega Evolution. I really don't know what this could entail. It doesn't really tell us a lot. And that strange thing leads into the next strange thing. Why is this up for pre-order right now? We don't know what the content entails, and we don't even know when it's coming out. All we know is that it's likely to come out before February, but that's not really a lot to go on. What we also know is that the DLC is half the price of the main game, assuming you're buying the Switch 1 version. And so, in turn, we're just kind of sitting here twiddling our thumbs thinking, okay, what does this DLC have to offer? When is it coming out? And why is it up for pre-order so early before the game in of itself is even out? This is easily one of the more bolder things Pokemon Company has done. It's definitely not the craziest, but it's certainly up there. We're just in a very weird position when it comes to Pokemon now, when it comes to receiving content, because we no longer have any semblance of a pattern. Even in the early stages of 8th gen, what they had going made sense. We would get the mainline game at the end of one year, and then the following year we would get parts 1 and 2 of the DLC, one usually during summer, one a little bit closer to winter, depending on the timeline. Don't get it wrong though, most people will definitely tell you that they would prefer if we didn't have any form of pattern or system and they just took their times with these games and finished them and the DLC when they were ready. But at the very least, it made sense. Instead of just abandoning the entirety of the mainline game for a brand new one or a completely brand new version of the game with minor changes here and there, we get DLC and updates for that game for the following year so we have something to play. Okay, fine, whatever. It gives more time for the developers to work on their next major project for the following year. So, cool, whatever. Now, obviously, we all know this. The thing about Legends, though, is that it's too new. We never have anything to base off of when it comes to Pokemon Legends because Arceus didn't even receive any DLC. As I always say, it was an unpredictable left field release because it wasn't meant to be a Legends title. It was supposed to be the remakes. Hence why, despite it being fun, it is a very rushed title. Say what you will about the quality of Legends EA, but it is definitely a step above Legends Arceus for good reason in terms of quality. So it's no mystery that this game was going to receive DLC. What we couldn't predict was how we were going to receive said DLC. And this would not have been my guess if you had asked me. I would have figured they would have at least tried to take the safer route. Go ahead, make the game, do whatever you gotta do, and then finish up the DLC so that you could release it in the middle of next year while we're waiting on whatever other major Pokemon titles we have next. So that way we have more major Pokemon content to look forward to in the midst of next year. Announcing it like this early creates two potential scenarios, both of which make you guys look really bad right now. Like I stated earlier, we don't know when this DLC is supposed to come out, which means that it could very well come out in the middle of next year for all we know. In this scenario, that would mean that it's kind of likely that the DLC isn't even finished and we don't know what we're going to be getting into until way later into next year potentially. So with that possibility in mind, why in the hell would we open up pre-orders this early? The only reason I could think of is to double profits as soon as humanly possible. I guess I'd be a little hypocritical if I didn't point out the fact that other games have done stuff like this plenty of times in the past too, but at the very least, we have a general idea of what's coming when it comes to like season passes and extra DLC and stuff like that. In this case, it's just the fact that we don't even have like a picture outside of the animated trailer for the Megas and Hoopa in an animation. We don't really have a semblance as to what's going on with this DLC. So it's just baffling to me. And it's especially frustrating because the incentive is to get extra equipment for your journey, mostly in the form of cosmetics though. And it's like, yo, this easily could have been base game pre-order bonuses. Why does it need to be attached as a pre-order bonus to the DLC specifically so you can get it in base game as early as possible? Come on, a couple of costumes and Pokeballs for buying the game early? Okay, alright guys. So yeah, it's kind of a cash grab move that doesn't really set a good precedent. Okay, not great, but not new to Pokemon. The second scenario is even more annoying to me, if I'm honest. The fact that they're announcing it this early could also potentially mean that this is finished content already. Which I believe is worse because that means they had the creative ideas for this DLC and already started working on it and damn near finished it by now. But instead of allowing us to have that as our post game, they decided to separate it and sell it to us as extra content for $30 extra because they can. That is, oh my god, guys. Why do you do this? It is really stuff like this that makes me appreciate games like Silksong right now, a game that was in development for so long because the developers just had so much fun creating it that they just wanted to keep creating, and they kept adding more and more content until they gave us a finished game for $20. And that's the flat rate. That's it right there. I don't know. It's just one of those really comically evil things that is just right in front of us, but there's really not much we could do about it outside of just skipping out on it, which is totally valid. I don't blame anybody that wants to skip out on this, because that is highway robbery in a lot of aspects. It's not okay. And it's really frustrating because I really do like the concepts presented in Pokemon Legends ZA and everything that they have going on here, but it's one of those things where it's just one step forward, like 7 steps back, when they make really bad business decisions like this that make it so that the consumer has a very hard time trusting them, you know? DLC is supposed to be extra content added onto the base content, not base content that was separated for the sake of making an extra buck. That's ridiculous. It's no wonder that every day more and more people are just completely finished with the series, and you can't really blame anybody for that because they're just so... why are we like this, man? This is too much. At this point in time, we still have a full month to go before the game is released. So maybe we could at least get a glimpse in between these next couple of weeks to see what this DLC is offering in terms of content, because otherwise, why are we purchasing it this early with no semblance to even a hint as to what we're buying? Come on. And that's the thing too, y'all definitely stepped on a bit of a landmine with that decision. So now, more than ever, this game and its DLC now better cook hard. I really do like Pokemon Legends ZA as a concept, and I really want it to be able to flourish and grow and continue from this point on, so that we could have this little playground for people who want to see different sides of the mainline games that we can't get in the generational numbered titles. Being able to bring back old gimmicks, being able to completely change the battle system, having stories that take place years before or years after the fact, which allows us to develop and build up characters that we haven't seen in years, is just an objectively good idea. Which is why I don't want them to get the wrong idea when we're spending money out the ass to get these games and their DLC, only for it to under-deliver a little bit because they got too bold, and then they get the wrong idea, and then we don't see stuff like this again. And it's just, it's such a risky thing to do. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. I really do hope that this game and its DLC do give us something that makes it so that these games have something good to offer. But hey, you know what? Maybe that's just me. So that just about does it for this one. This one is definitely on the shorter side, but in reality, you know, there's only so much we could talk about in regards to this. So, you know, it is what it is. That's totally fine. But other than that, if you didn't know already, assuming I didn't put the, you know, proper announcement video at the beginning of this video, make sure that you join in to the Pokemon Legends ZA giveaway that's going to be happening all through this month. I'm probably going to announce the winners during the initial Pokemon Legends ZA live stream that I'm going to do on day 1 when it drops. So make sure that you're present for that. Make sure that you have your tickets in so that you can go ahead and have a chance to win the game. Like I said, you know, this is the first time I've ever done a giveaway, so I want to at least try to keep it as organized as possible. If it's a little bit of a mess, I am sorry, but it should go smoothly to my understanding. So hopefully you guys join in on that and you guys get your chance to win, because I really want to give back to you guys for supporting me these last couple of years. And so you know, this is the first of many giveaways, so this is going to be the test run right here. So make sure you join in on that. Link in the description and in the Discord if you want to hop into that. So get your chance. But with all of that being said, I think I've said everything that I needed to say in regards to this little topic that's been discussed over the last like week or so on Twitter and stuff. So I wanted to pass the mic over to you guys, and I want to hear what you guys are thinking in the comment section below. Do you agree that this is kind of a ridiculous thing to do, that they probably shouldn't have announced and made the pre-orders available this early for the DLC for Pokemon Legends ZA? They should have waited, or they should have, you know, actually made real DLC that wasn't, you know, just all like base content and stuff like that? Or are you on the opposing side? You think this is not that big of a deal, other games do it all the time, Pokemon is not new to this, and we should definitely just get over it, and the DLC and the base game are going to be plenty of fun, and we're not going to think that hard about it anyway. Tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I am always going to be down there with you guys. But with that, it does appear to be skedaddle o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and do just so. I'd like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm gone. So thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.